everyone, welcome back to Steins. In the last episode, we did a majority thing, but in the episode before, we finished the game and got Suzuha's ending. Because what I didn't realize is, when it came to this, it's a send and a save, and I was stuck on the save, which I can't seem to select at the moment. But that's where I accidentally saved it and closed it out. So that's what happened. I thought I was sending it and I didn't, and I don't know. But anyways, we're gonna pick up where we left off before we decided to repeat the same day 100,000 times. I just need to send it. I start up the microwave. The discharge begins immediately. I place my thumb on the send button. Are you sure? Mayori's voice is choked with tears. Our memories with Suzu-san will disappear. Is that really okay? Memories flash through my head. Being with you guys, even just for a little while, was great. I'm going to finish what I started, Dad. I promise. Well, see you in 35 years. Though, I guess it'll only be a few hours for you guys. Change the future. Please. Suzuha, I've made my choice. I won't ask for your forgiveness. Ultimately, I'm doing this to save Mayori. But at the same time, the words you spoke on that rooftop are still strong in my head. You entrusted me to your hope for the future. If I am to honor that wish, I will fulfill mine, and then the time we spent together can never have happened. Chapter 7. Whoa. The world shatters into geometric shapes that expand and contract like rubber toys. Light gathers between my eyes. Stars explode behind my eyelids. Gradually, color returns to the world. I wait for the vertigo to pass. Cold sweat oozes from my temples. Pressing my fist against them, I slowly force the air out of my lungs. Has the world line changed? I head to the lounge in order to check the divergence meter. It's gone. I checked the meter a few minutes ago, just before the world line changed. Now it's nowhere to be found. I quickly realize what has happened. Suzuha gave me the meter after we stopped her from leaving. My D-mail undid those events. Of course the meter isn't here. A surge of regret seizes my heart. I clench my teeth and endure it as best as I can. If nobody else remembers, then I alone will keep these memories of Suzuha alive. I look around the room. Mayori and Chris are on the sofa, dozing on each other's shoulders. Daru, oblivious to the vulnerable high school girls behind him, is playing an eroge on his computer. I take a deep breath and turn on the TV. I flip to the news channel. The world line should have changed. I erase the time we spent with Suzuha. That should have allowed her to leap to 1975 without losing her memories, and the IBN 5100 should be in our hands now. We can use it to hack into Seren and erase the data they intercepted from us. Without information, Moika's men won't attack the lab. Mayori won't have to die. That's how it should be. That's how it has to be. Otherwise, why did I sacrifice Suzuha's dream? The quickest way to confirm the change would be to check for any delays at Akihabara station. What's the easiest way to check to see if you have the IBN? Daru, is the Yamanote line stopped? Huh? I don't think so. Check online. Wait, I'm at the best part. Please. Daru sighs and calls up the train information. Doesn't look stopped. Thanks. The world line has changed. which means that our IBN 5100 should be in the development room. I head back there to search for it. But contrary to my expectations, I can't find it anywhere. What's going on? I look at my watch. It's 7:43 p.m. Moika's men attacked us at what time again? My heart is pounding like a drum. That D-mail was supposed to fix everything. The trains are moving as scheduled, which means that Moika's men aren't about to attack. So why does it feel like nothing's fixed at all? The IBN 5100's absence is extremely disturbing. I want to sit down to think about where it could have gone, but a voice in my head is screaming that there is no time. I need to calm down. It's hard to think straight after everything that's happened. I check my watch again. 7:46. Images from the assault flash through my mind. Mayuri's bleeding to death on the floor. The smell of gunpowder in the air. I frantically shake the visions out of my head. I look towards the lab entrance. The door has yet to be kicked in by a team of hitmen. I swallow hard, petrified with terror. Please, don't let anything happen. It's past 9. I peek at the streets through the window. Nobody's there. Are you waiting for somebody? You keep looking out the window. Daru's right. I probably looked out that window 20 times in the past hour, and not a suspicious figure in sight. Moika's men still haven't appeared. The raid was before 8, if I remember correctly. I think it's safe to say that my changes to the past have prevented it from occurring. Suzuha's sacrifice was not in vain. I let out a deep breath. I am sweaty and disgusting. It's like my anxiety has pushed all the sweat out of my body. Mayuri, Kurisu. The two girls woke up from their nap about half an hour ago. Now they're eating a cup of noodles. Wait, did you just say my name correctly? Kurisu looks at me in astonishment, like she can't believe her ears. When you're done eating, go home. It's late. I'll go with you. Okie dokie. I don't need an escort from you. I can get back by myself. Just listen. Daru, you too. Eh? Me too. The train lines running through Akihabara are operating normally. There's no bomb scares, no sign of Moika or her men. Kurisu's taking the Sobu line to the next station, Ochanomizu, while Daru is going in the opposite way to Shinkoiwa. Mayuri and I are taking the Yamanote line to Ikebukuro, so we part at the station's ticket gate. There are surprisingly few passengers on the train. I guess most are salarymen off for the Obon holiday. Mayuri is playing a handheld game, a Rainet Kakeru action RPG. On screen, her character is battling a gigantic Upa. I stand beside her and gaze at her profile, lost in thought. It's the night of the 13th and Mayuri's still alive. How many times have I watched her die? How many times have I tasted that despair? No matter what I did, no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't save this ditzy childhood friend of mine from death. She died again and again right before my eyes. But now she's alive, standing beside me playing a game. This is why I sacrificed our memories with Suzuha. It was the only way. I'm sorry, Suzuha. And thank you. Suzuha no longer exists in this time. But I hope my feelings will reach her all the same. Actually, come to think of it, why can't I tell her in person? Where in Akiba would the 54-year-old Suzuha be? I'll try asking Tennoji tomorrow. He probably knows Suzuha on this world line too. I wonder if Suzuha remembers me. Hey, Okarin. Mayuri suddenly lifts her head. She looks at me hesitantly. Her cheeks are still slightly pink. What? Come on, Okarin. Mayushi gets nervous when you stare at her like that. Did I make you get a game over? Yeah. Sorry about that. I apologize, but keep looking at her. Instead of starting a new game, Mayuri looks at me with concern. There's something different about you today, Okarin. Really? Yeah. What's wrong? I remember myself that Mayuri is more perceptive than she seems. She proved that when she figured out that Daru was Suzuha's father. I don't want to worry her too much. I want Mayuri to smile her usual ditzy smile, without a care in the world. After all, it's over now. She's safe. Heh, nothing's wrong, and I wasn't looking at you just now. I was devising new ways to bring chaos into the world. Mwahahaha. Really? You seem kind of tired. A mad scientist is never tired. The mighty gray cells of my 170 IQ brain are always performing calculations day and night. Oh, but you should still take a break every now and then. Please, Okarin, for me. Having said that, Mayuri returns to her game. I feel cold stares all around me, but I don't care at all. Mayuri is here with me doing everyday Mayuri things, ordinary things. Everything is going back to normal. Yesterday was my first time home in a while, so I slept like a lug in my comfortable bed. It could be because of my mental exhaustion, but that was the best night's sleep in a while. Before heading up to the lab, I stop and stare at the Braun Tube workshop. The familiar mountain bike is gone. Suzuha liked it so much she insisted on bringing it with her to 1975. The workshop doors open, and out comes Mr. Braun, rubbing his eyes sleepily. Okabe, you've got free time. How about a job? Special offer. I'll hire you for 1 CRT a month. 1 CRT a month? So for 1 month's work, I get an old TV? Hell no. When did Suzuha quit again? Suzuha? Who the hell's that? What? Was her existence erased completely? But that's impossible. I ain't got time to remember the name of some lazy part-timer who quit after just 10 days. Damn you and your misleading words. So Suzuha did work here. The evidence of Suzuha's sojourn in 2010 still remains on this world line. And I thought I'd finally had some help for a change. That's what I hate about you damn kids. No dedication. I bet she lied about liking CRTs too. Got me good. Tennoji shrugs his shoulders, annoyed. Naturally, he doesn't know about Suzuha's true identity. Does the name Hashida Suzu ring a bell? At this point, his eyes something. Went by too fast, sorry. Haven't heard that name in a long time. You knew her? Knew her. So now she's... It's been 10 years already, huh? 10 years? 10 years since what? No. I don't want to know the answer. Tennoji has a faraway look in his eyes as if he's gazing into the past. She really helped me out. Why are you talking about her in past tense? She didn't have any relatives, not that I knew of. I wish I could have been with her at the end. At the end? There's only one thing that can mean. Even though the world line changed, Suzuha didn't survive to the year 2010. To tell you the truth, though, she looked peaceful when I found her. Peaceful? She didn't commit suicide? Suicide? Who the hell told you that? Suzuha-san was sick. Don't believe any old thing you hear. She was sick. Sickness killed her? I shouldn't feel good about that. But I guess you could say that it's better than what happened before the world line changed. That's what I tell myself anyways. So how did you know Suzu-san? She helped me out too, a long time ago. I was hoping to see her again. Yeah? I'm living in her old house now. Want to come pay your respects at the altar? I nod without a moment's hesitation. Tennoji closes up shop and we head off towards his house. From the Chodori, we head towards the station. I scan the Akiba scenery as we walk. Moe's stores are still nowhere to be found on this world line. After a little hesitation, I look up at Daidi Khan. It's gone. The satellite has vanished. All that's left is the hole it made when it arrived in this time. You got mail. Assistant! There's nobody at the lab. I don't have a key, so I can't get in. When are you coming over? I assumed you'd be here like usual. It kind of feels like I'm visiting your home. Not that it's a home. I will go with this one. Use the one hidden in the switchboard next to the door. Send. So I have like a string of text going to Kurisu, which don't really show them here, which is supposed to help get to a particular ending, the true ending. Let's see, when did the satellite disappear? About 5 days ago? You never know what's gonna happen, huh? Which means Suzuha left before it rained. Like Tennoji said, his house is closer than expected. We take the train to the next station, Okachimachi, and then walk for about 5 minutes to a quiet residential area. This old one-story house is where Suzuha once lived. I walked up to the front of the house, and there I see a familiar sight. Suzuha's bicycle. For a moment, I can see her there squatting beside the bike. But the mountain bike Suzuha rode to the vtuber workshop was shiny and new. Now it's old and covered in rust. Suzuha loved that old thing. Even when she couldn't ride it anymore, she still polished it every week. It's been sitting there for 10 years, couldn't throw it away. I maintained it the best I could, but I guess nothing lasts forever. I gently put my hand on the seat. It's warm from sitting out in the sun. I suppose that, for a few days Suzuha was in Akiba, this bike existed in 2 places at the same time. The house isn't as messy inside as I expected, considering the state of the vtuber workshop. I guess that chipmunk keeps the place clean. Ugh. A wave of nausea hits me as I recall what Nei did at Ochanomizu Station. But I tell myself that it was just an accident. Besides, that incident has already been undone. Tennoji Nei has done nothing wrong. Next to the living room is a child's room. There's a child's study desk and a red backpack on the floor. Nei isn't here. Which reminds me, Tennoji's daughter visits the workshop often. But not once have I seen his wife. He couldn't have married Suzuha, could he? I mean, she should have been a lot older than him when they met. But as they say, love knows no bounds. I wonder what really happened. I don't know how it'd feel if those two were married. That would make Daru Tennoji's father-in-law? Actually, that would be kind of interesting. I turned to the Buddhist altar to pay my respects to Suzuha. There's no picture of her, so there's no way to know what Hashida Suzu looked like at the age of 44. I make an offering of incense to her and then look around the house again. This is the house Suzuha lived in after leaping to 1975. When Suzu-san and I first met, we were neighbors. For some reason, Tennoji offers me a beer. When I decline, he shakes his head and starts drinking it himself. I was born and raised in Europe, you know.
Huh?
Eh? Is that a joke? Got a problem? I'll have you know my English and French are perfect. He really doesn't look like someone who lived abroad. I guess you can't judge a book by its cover. My parents died about 15 years ago. That's when I came back to Japan. Or I guess I should say came to Japan for the first time. Suzuha-san was living alone next door. She looked after me when I had nowhere else to turn. Alright, now's my chance. If I'm going to ask, it's now or never. And you got married? Huh? Married? To Suzu-san? Are you an idiot? Whew! I knew she'd never marry a guy like him. She was a pretty stoic lady. Didn't have much of a social life. But she treated me well. My house burned down about a year after I moved here. It was my smoking that caused the fire, so I deserve it, but still. After I lost everything, she let me come live here with her. That's not all. The Ohiyama building, where the workshop's at, that was originally Suzu-san's property. Eh? She sold it to me for cheap. It's thanks to her the vtuber workshop exists. You could say she saved my life. Once, I asked her why she treated me so well. It wasn't like we were related or anything. But she just smiled and said, "We all depend on someone's kindness at some point in our lives. When the time comes, you pass that gift along." She was kind of mysterious. She seemed to know exactly how things were going to happen, like a prophet. Suzuha. That was probably her way of repaying Tennoji for looking after her, even if it was just for 10 days. And so, it came full circle. It's a small world, huh? Never thought I'd meet someone else who knew her. Oh, right. Wait here a second. Tennoji goes to a child's room next door and then returns and places an object on the table. Ah. It's Suzuha's divergence meter. Before the world line change, it was in the lab. But on this world line, Suzuha brought the meter with her to 1975. It's been in this house for 35 years. The tubes read 0.409431%. Divergence has changed, just like Suzuha said. This proves my magic eye, reading Steiner, does indeed allow me to perceive changes in the world line. But what does 0.409431% mean? I recall what Suzuha said. When the meter reads over 1%, you've made it to the beta world line. Does that mean I'm still on the alpha world line? Do you know what that number means? Because I sure don't. All I know is it hasn't changed a bit these 10 years. But you know, when Suzu-san was on her deathbed, she used to stare at that meter for hours. Eh? She used to stare at that meter, talking to herself. Is this the old number? The new number? Did it work? Did it change? Stuff like that, day in and day out. It hurt to watch. I touched the device. Suzuha. In my heart, I reach out to the girl who died 10 years ago. To the girl who had been born 7 years from now. To the girl who crossed time to save the future. Suzuha. Thanks to you, Mayuri is safe. Divergence has changed. But we still haven't reached your ultimate goal. 1% divergence. Once that is achieved, the future you dreamed of will become a reality. I will carry on your fight, Suzuha. I promise. I realize that I am crying. Tennoji stares at me for a moment, and then he puts his giant hand on my shoulder. And on that note, I'm going to leave this episode here. So it looks like Suzuha was scheduled to die one way or another. Fate had decided that that was her time. Maybe similar like Mayuri, how she in that last kind of line always died. Suzuha's always meant to die. I don't know, but we'll find out, I guess. So if you're enjoying the series and you want to see more from me, then please subscribe and do all that YouTube shit. And in the next episode, we're going to talk to Mayuri and check our email. So I'll see you then.